Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I am going to be using a sketch from Scrapbook Generation's National Scrapbook Day crop. I pulled out the Doodlebug Pumpkin Spice collection for these photos. This was one of the collections that I picked up, I believe, from a peachy cheap deal, and then after I got the collection, because it only came with 6x6 pieces of paper, I went over to scrapbook.com and picked up additional pieces for it. The collection was a little bit older, so I wasn't able to get everything. But I do have a link below to scrapbook.com, and that is an affiliate link. So if you're ever purchasing from scrapbook.com, just know that if you use that link, I do get a little bit of commission. So I am able to pick up some of the newer supplies from scrapbook.com with you guys using the affiliate links. It does not cost you anything to use the affiliate link, but it does give me a little bit of commission from it. So I appreciate if you are ever purchasing from scrapbook.com, if you'll use that link below, and that is in every single one of my videos. These photos are of Eli and Levi from last fall at Harvest Holler. Harvest Holler has these corn tubs. They're basically big tubs that you would use to like feed cows and horses and things like that, that they have filled with corn. The corn tubs are really intended for little kids to be playing in because they can jump in there, and it is a huge tub, like big enough for 5 or 6 year olds to be completely submerged in it. And I do have photos of Eli when he was younger, much younger, in the corn tubs. Is this something that's common? Like, does every fall festival have corn tubs, or like it's just a Florida thing? I'm not sure. We were hanging out at Harvest Holler, which is our local fall festival place. Couldn't find them because they usually just kind of run off and do their own thing, whether it's going through the corn maze or just kind of hanging out. Once you get into the farm, because it is a family-owned working farm, once you get in there, kids are just playing around and they're just running around doing all the different types of activities. So there is a little bit of room for them to kind of have some independence. So anyways, I couldn't find them, and I'm looking for them, and I go over to where the corn tubs are, and the boys are sitting in the corn tubs, just hanging out, just talking to each other. The photos on the left, you can see those are where I actually got them like talking and interacting with each other. Eli had taken his shoes off. His feet are completely black. Definitely a Florida kid. Then the photos on the right, the two 4x6s, I did have them move to one of the smaller corn tubs so that I could get an actual individual photo of them in the corn tubs. When I pulled out this collection to match up with the sketch, my thought was that I was going to use the 2x2 squares. The sketch actually calls for 2x2 squares all around the edges of the photos, but I had done this layout right after I had done a school layout where it called for a very similar idea of a bunch of different things. I actually ended up pulling the entire layout up because I did not like the way that it looked. So when I sat down to do this, I was like, maybe I can use the 2x2 squares and that'll be different than using the embellishment pieces. I was like, I don't want to get like halfway through it and not like it. So I'm going to take inspiration from the sketch, but definitely did not follow the sketch. I put my photos in the center of the layout like the sketch calls for, but that's really all I do. I kind of build a scene, and I suck at scene building. I am so jealous of Nicole over at Collie Bing. I'll link her channel below. She does amazing, amazing scenes, and I wish I had the talent to do that. So this is a little nod to her, but nowhere near what she does with scenes. That little mouse on the tractor pulling the corn was super cute. So I added that to the right-hand side, and then I also pulled out a stalk of corn to the left-hand side. I decided to add a bunch of clouds at the top, so it looks like a sunny day. I was thinking of adding a couple of clusters around the photos like the sketch called for. I thought maybe I could pull out this die here that has a bunch of different circles cut out. It kind of looks like a honeycomb. I got it down on the right hand side and I was like, nope, don't like it over there. So then I was like, well, maybe I'll put it on the left hand side where I had these fall 2x2 squares. Didn't like it there. So I was like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go through that again where I have to pull up a layout. So I'm just going to do my style, which is, I know, clean and simple. I know my style isn't going to be any type of elegant thing. I don't really tend to do a lot of embellishments on mine. I just don't like the way that it looks. I'm just going to stick with my style and be okay with it. I decided to go ahead and put the 2x2 squares down. I was deciding between having them like wonky or straight. I sent both of them over to my friend Abby and she was like, nope, I like them straight. So I went ahead and added those down. And then I'm also going to add the embellishment pieces down before I start stitching. I decided to add the corn piece down at the bottom. That is flat to the layout. And then for the clouds, I really went alternating between up on fun foam and then flat. The one cloud where the leaves are blowing, he is up on fun foam, and then like the teal cloud next to him is flat, and then alternated back and forth. And then the sun itself is also up on fun foam. So once I get those pieces down, I do go ahead and pull out my poker tool, and I'm really just following the stitching guidelines that are drawn onto these 2x2 cards. So it's not going to be a back stitch, it's more like just a regular stitch. Once I poke all the holes, I do go ahead and stitch off camera. Then I am going to add my title to the far right hand side, and it's just going to say adorable friends, because these boys truly are just cute together. They hang out all the time and they're like two peas in a pod. I decided, since I had the cloud piece that was blowing the leaves, that maybe I could add a leaf to the title cluster. So I added a yellow leaf and then gave him two little leaves on the side, which as I was like editing the video, I thought leaves don't really have other leaves. Usually flowers have leaves, but I'm just gonna go with it. I also pulled out this little squirrel over on the far left hand side who is holding an acorn, because I had added an acorn shape sprinkle to my title cluster. So I was like, why not add the squirrel with the acorn over on the left to kind of tie it together. So I do put him up on fun foam and stick him right next to the corn stalks. And then I was like, I might as well add an acorn to the cluster down there at the bottom next to the corn being pulled by the little mouse. I pulled out some of the hearts from the embellishment pieces that I had and added it to the title cluster, as well as the cluster on the bottom and then the cluster on the right. But then I felt like there was too much plain hearts with the cluster down on the bottom right, so I pulled up two of the hearts and added some enamel dots. I did pull out my color boxes in brown, green, and orange to add enamel shapes to each one of the clusters. And then of course using my glue press to adhere all of them down. This one came out super quick. Sometimes those Doodlebug embellishments do all the work for me. So that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video and this layout. If you did, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.